What it do? What's going on, everybody? Hard Pass Live. We're numbering this one number one. I'm going to start numbering these things so we can have a base to say, hey, remember a number, blah, 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 blah. We talked about this. So I figured that would be a good start. And I didn't feel like going back and counting all the ones we've already done.
Oh, if you didn't want to? Okay.
Nah. Plus, I didn't have time. So I literally just sprinted in from work. I popped it on. I got Rim Breezy on the track. What's up,
What's
bro?
up, my guy? How's it going, dude?
You switched the headband game up on me today.
Dude, I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to take this off, honestly, because that's my boy, dude.
It doesn't get any better than that. That's for sure.
The media hype right now is nuts. It's wild. So,
dang, who's that good-looking cat on the left? Sheesh! What's up? What's going on, everybody?
Get him out of here.
What's going on? So we got plenty to talk about. We're going to be talking about how fucking pathetic the head coach for the Panthers is. We're going to be talking about Dolphins made a trade today. We got a lot of stuff. We got Kevin Durant trying to strong arm being Kevin Durant. We got some baseball talk. We got some basketball talk. We got some training camp talk. Some football. It's really popping off right now. It's about to go down.
It is about to. I mean, I can feel it. I can just feel it rising.
So we'll start with the NFL. We're going to do an NFL start. Also, me and Remy are talking about maybe trying to set up like a bulletin pointer board on the things that we're going to talk about for today. So we'll see if we can get that going, just so you can kind of, the chat will know where we're at instead of just, hey, this, what about this? What about this? You know?
Yeah.
Because it kind of throws off the rhythm a little bit of it. So if we'll put it up and we'll even maybe get it to where we could put it up before we even go live, just so the people who want to watch, they'll have kind of some questions that they maybe can start thinking about beforehand too on different topics that they're interested in too. So, hey, we're scheming.
Big things ahead.
Big things ahead. Well, this is the third week in a row on a
fourth week in a row.
Is it third or fourth?
Fourth, I think.
So there's a couple things, also some housekeeping before we get going. We need to get a intro song. Need to figure out an intro song, because I think I'm gonna start letting it ride for getting like a 5-minute build up before we start. So maybe you could get some music or something going on. I'm
time for people to jump in.
Get time for people to jump in and stuff. So we're not, but oh yeah, what's up, man? Sorry I missed something. So that's why I like kind of talk to you guys in the beginning, see how everybody's doing in chat, see how Remy's doing, of course, before we really dive too deep into it. So yeah, we got no time to talk before this one. You was in here 5 minutes beforehand, dude. Being 3 hours behind, and I work pretty much 9 to 5 now at the office. So on the days that we go live now, I have to leave at 4. I try to get out at 4 hours, just shoot out an hour early so I can sit down, everything. But today was a crazy day.
Sprint out of there today, dude.
Bro, the real estate market is going crazy, and we're trying to pick up the pieces. So, it's been good. So I just literally sprinted home. Almost got in a freaking wreck on the interstate. The traffic's crazy right now. But hey, we're here. How's your day today, man?
Here, dude. Another day in paradise, Woke up, dealt with about an hour of dread, made my way to work, crushed my 9 to 5, made it home.
Today at the office, we talked about how shitty Wells Fargo was.
I mean, that's a good topic.
So apparently,
I can't say anything though, because
yeah, no, we talked about. So a guy has a higher up in one of the service departments of Wells Fargo that does help and stuff, and pretty much they're saying that they can't really get anybody to work, so they're about to outsource all that shit, maybe overseas or something.
Not surprised at all. It's not. I'll be honest with you, it's probably not that they can't get anybody to work. They are probably making it where nobody can work for them. I just know how those things work. It's one of those things we're hiring. No, you're not. Weird. We've been hiring. No one's been hired. So, been there.
In a wreck? Call me.
Dude.
Yeah, dude. Tyler, dude, I literally saw 5 wrecks happen in the span of a minute.
Shameless plug, dude. Yeah, apparently, Tyler, it's out in Arizona, dude. Just wrecks. Just be happening.
Just wrecks on wrecks.
So, but yeah, man, I'll be honest with you, dude. I was at work today and I finally have some help at my job to where I'm not just constantly slammed for the entire time that I'm there. And that's when I was like messaging you about the Twitter and everything. I'm like,
right.
This was the highlight of my day, was sitting there trying to figure this out, like what we're going to do today, what we're going to talk about, trying to get things rolling. So like, I'm sitting in my office, bro. Like, you let me get out of here. I'm ready to get on Hard Pass and talk some shit about some shit.
So yeah, I think we're gonna let Remy manage the Hard Pass account. I think he does way better than me at all that shit. We're just trying to do better.
I was sitting there. I was like, man, I'd be tweeting. And I have to like tag Hard Pass in it on Twitter, and then I go back and I look at Twitter. I'm like, bro, Hard Pass sent out like 2 tweets this year, bro. Like,
so you just got to be tweeting, and you got Twitter clout.
Bro, I do, man. I'm just saying, for a guy with like 100 followers, you know.
So
also, I don't know. I can't see the numbers as to how many people are in the chat right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in here and you have a Twitter and you do not follow Hard Pass Twitter, please go follow. It has 40 followers, 39 followers.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we got to get them numbers up. And because I'm gonna be tweeting, I like to like post like sports news. I put it out on the Facebook page. I tweeted it out on my Twitter today. First thing this morning, I saw the Roquan Smith news, and I'll just throw out little sports tidbits like that. So if, you know, I can be the Adam Schefter of Hard Pass Sports. I'll just post it out there in there.
Let's go
for the world to know. So please, I know like we plug the YouTube channel all day, and we've gotten, you know, some good stuff from that. We've gotten a good bit of people that now watch us from YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely jump over to Twitter. It's at Hard Pass Sports. Give it a like, retweet us, follow, like, whatever, everything you can. Every little bit helps.
You know, I feel like if we really got I feel like if we put a little production value into this, and we stuck with some good times, and you know, because we have you guys always supporting us and everything, I think we could really hit the next level, and then that next level is like another level. You know, we could really push on.
I'm liking this Tuesdays at 8:00, man. I know it'd be a stretch for you sometimes, but Tuesdays at 8 seems perfect for me. It gives me enough time to get home, get like settled down a little bit, hop in here, and I, you know, if we can, I think the consistency is huge for the people that do join us week in and week out.
Old Jonathan Kunis, MLB. See, so this is the stuff that I was saying. I know this is just a joke, but it's a good point. We're gonna, like I said, I think in the future we're going to like that day. I know we'll have hot topics that happen, of course, on the day, like today. But we're gonna try to set up a game plan to where we'll post the list online. We'll put it up on the live screen, just so you can kind of follow along, just so we can have some kind of flow to this.
Yeah.
Instead of us not bouncing around.
You know, if we put it in an order and you see we've passed the topic,
we'll always come back.
We'll come back to it, but you'll see, you know, it's something that we have already spoke about. So
right. There you go. And if people want to watch when they can't tune in live, you know, we'll always be like, hey, we talked about it. So we had 10 minutes of housekeeping. We warmed everybody up. I hope everybody's doing great. We're going to start with the NFL, and no place to start other than Roquan Smith and the Chicago Bears. Remy, you want to start on this one?
So, yeah, that was kind of a bomb that dropped as soon as I walked into work today. I get there, sit down, and see a tweet come through that says, Roquan Smith, all-pro middle linebacker from the Chicago Bears, has formally requested a trade. I read his little thing he put out there about why, basically saying that the Bears don't respect him and they don't value him. So he wants a new contract. And based on what he said, he says, the new front office regime doesn't value me here. They've refused to negotiate in good faith, and everything they've done is take it or leave it. And he's basically of the mindset it's not a good deal for him. It's not a good deal for the market for middle linebackers. This is crazy to me because when I think of like the middle linebacker position. The Chicago Bears are like the franchise when it comes to middle linebackers. They've had historically great middle linebackers almost all throughout their franchise's history.
Right.
And this guy's good. He's that good, And yeah, I mean, I would have thought this is a guy they would want to lock up long.
Slam dunk. Hey, yeah, I mean, they said it's like a backloaded deal, and it's really bad for the linebacker market in general. You're really setting a bad precedent. So, I don't think Chicago's in any situation where they're going to be contending in the next 2 or 3 years anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a situation where they can cash in, get a first and get some high draft capital back for a linebacker, which is pretty hard to do in this day. But this dude's a stud and he's worth it. And I know every team, when this report went out, their GMs perked their ears up a little bit, like, "Hey, what? We all could use an all-pro linebacker."
Yeah. So, me personally, I don't know about you. I don't see there's any way in hell they trade him. You can't. He's young. He's one of the best middle linebackers in the game.
How many more years of control they have on him?
Probably. I have to look at it, but probably just this year, honestly. Let me look.
Yeah, let's look at his contract. Hey, this is also stuff that I want to maybe do in the future where we can have it up on another monitor. I need to buy another monitor. Just so
yes, so he is an unrestricted free agent after this season. So it's now or never.
They're definitely going to trade him.
Yeah, I mean, I would get a deal done, is what I'm saying. I would just get a deal done. Like
they're about to cash in, bro.
I mean,
there's no way.
It's wild to me that these are the moves that I franchises make. I don't understand. You take a guy in the first round and you hit on that pick, like you nailed that pick. He's
slam dunk,
one of the best middle linebackers in the game. He's a young dude. It's like, to me, when you hit that, you got to keep it. You got to second contract here. He's 25 years old. Give him a second deal. But some of these teams, they just go, nah, But
it's crazy that it's got this far, though.
What are they going to do? So you trade him. They're already not, like you said, they're not a good team. I don't think they're going to win a ton of games. But you bury yourself deeper into a hole. Now, middle linebacker's a massive hole you have to try and plug. I mean, if you're not trying to win games, then sure, by all means. But to me, they're in one of those situations right now. They've got a rookie quarterback contract. Now, where is your money? Where is your money? You're on
I'm just saying, Remy, if it's already to this point, buddy, it's gone.
I guess so.
If he's an unrestricted free agent, they cannot let it go to the season. They can't let it go that far.
I mean,
they're gonna get nothing. He'll hold out. He'll come back. He'll play. This is what will happen if they don't re-sign him and if they don't trade him. Then he'll play this year, go into the market, make a bank of money, choose where he wants to go. To be honest with you, that's probably his best bet anyway at this point. I mean, he wants to request a trade so he can go ahead and cash out. You never know in football. You can get injured at any time. But
I mean, I get it on his standpoint why he wants a new deal. I for sure.
You're missing out the Caleb. We're just talking about Roquan, literally the first sports thing we started talking about. So I think they end up trading him, dude. Unless they come back with a slam dunk crazy offer. But if you're at this point where a franchise has told you, hey, pretty much this is all we're going to give you, and then you're like, well, this ain't it.
Yeah.
And I want to trade out. What would be your next step? Would you still sign with that franchise if they all improved it?
I mean, I know how the league works with this. He 100% would. If the money was right, none of that other shit would matter. That's just how the league is. If the Bears came out and gave him the offer he wants, they don't. It's agents that run that shit. So, I mean, he probably wouldn't even know. It'd be like the agent says, here's a number, the Bears match it, deal.
Well, he's from Georgia, right? Or somewhere. He went to Georgia.
He went to Georgia.
Who knows, bro? He might not want to live in Chicago anymore.
I mean, that's fair.
Honestly, where sports are going now, players want all the control and pick exactly where they want to go. They want to play for contenders and all this stuff. Football's a little different, but that's exactly. I mean, that's exactly what I say, Caleb. I don't know. Once you're into this part of the contract, it's gone. You're too late. This is a deal that you do at the beginning of last year, and if it isn't done, dude. So how I know this is off topic and different in sport, all sorts of different, but in soccer, if a player goes into his last year of his contract, they're as good as gone. They sell them that year. Yeah. So it's wild. The headband on fire,
dude.
What's going on, man? But yeah, me personally, I know in your mind, this is a Dolphins mind where you're like, dude, you've done seen this play out too many times.
So many times.
Where you're like, hey, we use a first round draft pick on a guy. We're like, wait, he's good? Yeah, we'll go ahead and cash in.
He's good? All right, you got to send him.
Yeah, we'll try him.
Yeah, but that's where my point is like, if you're the Bears, you're not a team that's loaded with talent all over the place. They've got a few positions that they have locked in that they know are good players. They're not spending any money. I don't understand this. This is where if they had a quarterback that was taking up a fifth of the salary cap, okay,
maybe you try to cut costs linebacker.
Maybe you find something. They're on a rookie contract with a quarterback. They're not paying a ton of money to a bunch of people. They don't have superstars on this team. So, like, where's the money?
I mean, they're not going to draft another Roquan Smith. So
that's what I'm saying. Where's the money? Like, where is it for you to not be able to afford to give this man what he wants? It's crazy to me. We're not talking about a team that's like buried in their salary cap and they don't have any money because they've spent it all in other places. This team doesn't have a lot of great players. They got a great middle linebacker, and they're just going to ship him. It's wild. That's what I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand why you don't just sign him. You hit the draft pick, give the dude a contract.
But like I said, I think Caleb made the best point though. Like, what if you're already this deep into his once you told me that he's in the last year of his deal, yeah, he's up out of there.
What would you give up for him? What is your max trade offer for Roquan Smith?
Dude, if I am a middle of pack team, so I'm not got a crazy draft pick anyway, you're definitely have to give up a first. And I don't know, maybe like a first and a third or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What would you give up?
I think so. It's kind of strange. I've been reading about it all day about some of the like fits and like teams that would try and go after him. There's some pretty bad teams on the list of like one of the teams that kept popping up I saw was the Falcons. It's like,
well, I mean, whoever trades for him has to have cap room.
They have to have cap room, but also
because they got to re-sign him.
I would love to have him, but like if we're gonna have a top 5 pick next year, am I giving up a potential top 5 pick for he's a middle linebacker. He's a great middle linebacker, but he's a middle linebacker.
I don't think that Khalil Mack return was wild. Plus, pass rushers are. Sorry, I mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
but I think a team that is contending, that has hopes of contending, yes, I would probably go first round pick.
Yeah,
I would probably go first round pick. So, but yeah, no, there's a lot.
Got
right.
Got him.
No lie. If only.
Damn, y'all out here costing Roquan Smith players, bro.
All because of Tom Brady. Actually, that's what you just popped up on the screen. I'll touch base on that here in just a second. But so let's just look. I've got a list pulled up here from CBS Sports. Potential landing spots for Roquan Smith. The first one that pops up is the Ravens. Now the Ravens, of course, they drafted Patrick Queen a couple of years ago, and he looked like he was well on his way to being a star.
Right.
That took a backseat last year. I think actually lost his starting spot at one point last year. And that's another franchise, middle linebacker means a lot to that franchise. So that would be an interesting fit.
They're about to have to pay the quarterback position there.
So. Maybe. they're dragging their feet on that one.
Damn, remember you out here posting stuff on your. Dude, who's on your account?
Dude, who's on my YouTube right now? That's wild.
That's wild.
Dude, I love seeing me out here commenting on it.
Hey, you gotta support the channel.
Hey, somebody's out there on my channel. I've been hacked. Who cares? Still delivering the show. The number 2 it has is the Broncos. Now the Broncos, with getting Russell Wilson, me and you have said it for a couple of years. They are a quarterback away from being a team. If they can add one of the best middle linebackers in football to the team, boy, now that's a spot. That's a spot I'd love to see because I do have high hopes for the Broncos this year. Number 3 is the Patriots. We can move on past that. Nobody wants to see them in a Patriots uniform. That's just whack and lame, and no one cares about that team. Number 4, maybe the best fit I've ever seen, the Miami Dolphins. Really
don't have the draft capital. Move it along.
Jake nailed it with like, man, if only we had that extra first and third, we could throw in on a deal for him. So that kind of sucks. And then of course, last on this list is the Dallas Cowboys. So, and these are all teams I think expect to be better than middle of the road teams. So I do think a first round pick for a team like that thinks, like, if I'm Denver right now, we already went all in on getting Russell Wilson. Why the hell not? Like, let's make it's that Rams mentality of like, here's a dude that could push you over the edge and make you an actual Super Bowl contending team. Fuck them picks, bro. Who cares?
I mean, you got to be on fuck them picks when your quarterback's Russell Wilson.
Just go win the damn thing.
I think have we just decided on he's going to be a Bronco?
Dude, I think he's going to be a Bronco.
I think he's going to be a Bronco.
I'm thinking this happens to us pretty regularly. We speak a lot of things into existence.
What's up, Bleezes?
Lock it in.
What's going on, man? Appreciate you subscribing.
Lock it in. He will be a Bronco. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, man. That's, like I said, that he is a dude.
We'll see.
That'll make a big difference for a team somewhere. So, interested to see what happens. If I'm running the Bears, there's no way I let this dude walk, bro.
He's gone. So we'll move along.
Paid linebacker.
People want to talk some training camp. So, I did see a lot. There's a lot of fights going on. Of course, you had the guy for the Saints that was. They had to he had like 3 fights in a row. You have Giants fighting people.
That's Wes on my YouTube. He's on my laptop right now. I guarantee that's what that is. Wes is on my laptop right now, commenting from it. That's funny as hell. Anyway, yeah, keep going.
I was just saying, right now is we're training camp. First off, so they've been in training camp for a little over a week now.
Yeah.
And they've been practicing against themselves pretty hard for a week. Right now is the time where they need to hit somebody else.
Yes.
You get in that mode where you're like, you continue to line up against the same guy every day. And also a lot of teams right now are having longer training camp days.
Yeah.
To try to get more work in because of course, this weekend is freaking preseason, bro.
Yeah. We're there. We are there. It is kind of funny though, because me and you talked a little bit about it. There's the Saints rookie that started a fight 3 days in a row at practice. They had to kick him out of practice because he kept trying to fight people. It's like maybe don't fight your own team all the time.
So that was the guy, by the way. Let's not throw it off, but he was the guy that went like viral for like grabbing people and throwing them down. And then the coaching staff is like, that's holding, bro. Like, you can't really do that. So apparently he was doing some he did a couple times. He was doing okay shit, but then he was doing like illegal shit to defensive linemen, and they kept getting pissed because they're like, bro, you can't fucking do that.
Yeah. When I played, that was probably like, if I'm on the offensive line and you're doing a bunch of like illegal shit as a defensive player in practice, I'm like, bro, stop. Like, we're gonna have to talk about this, or things are gonna happen. But so I've been seeing that now, and to go back to that, the reports about the Patriots in training camp. Now I've seen a couple of reports. The Patriots have not looked good in practice. It's practice. let's be honest. If we're banking on what we've seen so far, Tua's by far the MVP of the league.
Goated,
like he's just throwing bombs to Tyreek Hill every day. The Patriots.
Baker Mayfield went 4 for 4 today in practice on the goal line.
Baker's going to be in the MVP running. I think I've seen also reports that the Giants, Daniel Jones has been atrocious. I think that it's like they're talking about like if the season was based on what we've seen in training camp, he'd have a 23% completion percentage. Kadarius Toney just wouldn't be in the league. So like it's still training camp. It's tough for me because I want to be hyped.
Bro, how are they going to get any better?
Damn close.
23% completion percentage. Is anybody catching passes?
I've heard it's been bad, bro. But I have specifically seen the stuff about the Patriots, and there are a lot of question marks about the Patriots coming into the season. And they don't have an offensive coordinator. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So
they don't have an offensive coordinator. They're just doing this thing where it's like. They don't have titles or roles.
I also think their roster is not that good.
No. I mean, I'm not going to take away from Bill Belichick. What he's done in the past, I mean, he's arguably the greatest coach of all time. That's not in doubt. But I feel like sometimes he tries to outsmart himself when it comes to his roster. And it's like, dude, I don't know if you look at it. Like, it was last year with their wide receiving core. Their wide receiving core was just awful. Yeah. What was it? 2 years ago, their number one receiver was Damiere Byrd. It's like, bro, you're getting a little too cute with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he's done that. He's done that for years. I mean, they kept drafting. I remember for years they would draft a defensive back in the first or second round for years and years in a row, and then just never play that guy. And they'd be like, "Oh, this 6th round pick out of East Tennessee's earned it." I'm like,
right.
Yeah, but you use the 1st or 2nd round pick on a guy, you got to see what you got in him. So they've done that for a while. But I'll be honest with you. If the reports play out on the field and they are trash, that's just good news for me, baby.
Hey, I bet you're sitting there grinning.
We play them week 1. So that's
Tom says, for me. Daniel Jones will be terrible. I agree. He will be terrible.
I've jumped off that train.
Danny Dimes,
dude, I had hope, and it just hasn't come to fruition, and I don't see it coming to fruition this year. He's a guy, I'll be honest with you, like if we're 6 games in and he's struggling, I just think they just move on, you know?
Yeah, I just don't think he's that good to begin with.
Yeah, so. I don't either.
I don't think he's ever been that good. Either. He's just he looks good in shorts, you know?
He's a big dude. Yes, he's a big dude, tall and white.
So Matt's asked a couple times. You see where Kareem Hunt is trying to get a trade?
Yes,
he wants to know where does Kareem Hunt land.
He wants Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean
that's all they got. That's all they got. What are they gonna do? I mean, he wants an extension. There's no way in hell they can afford an extension right now.
Right.
You know, like what? So. And that's all they got. I mean, they literally, you know, and we'll touch a little bit more on this, but the NFL is appealing the Deshaun Watson ruling, and they're pushing hard for a full year.
Right.
Hard.
Davis Mills.
So it's like, that's all they got. They're going to have to go out here and run the ball. But Jacoby Brissett, I'm sorry, he's not going to win you a bunch of games.
Wait, I heard you interested in a quarterback? We got a guy that makes $19 million who some say Sam Darnold can spin it.
So
to the wrong team, but he can spin it.
A lot. But as far as where Kareem Hunt might go, I don't have any ideas on where he might go.
Mm-hmm.
There are some teams I think I would like to see him on because I do. I mean, he's a starting running back in the NFL. Let's just be honest. He's a starting running back. The fact that he got in his little bit of trouble he got in. Also, by the way, he got a stronger punishment than Deshaun Watson did.
Yeah.
For kicking someone.
Sometimes you just got to kick somebody, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was on camera, so it looks worse.
Kicking it with Kareem, dude.
Kicking it with Kareem. I'm trying to think, what is a great fit for Kareem Hunt? Where would you think would be the best fit for him?
I agree, Caleb. I don't know. To be honest with you, nowhere he's going to be a Brown, so there's no reason for us to even think about it.
I think he is also going.
He's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
new fantasy.
I do think. Kicking it with Kareem. That's my guy.
But yeah, so I think he'll end up staying with the Browns. The Browns looked at him like, hey, bro, we gave you a lifeline back in this league when it was kind of dicey for you.
They did.
So I think eventually they might get a deal done. I don't think they will anytime soon, but I think he'll end up.
It's another one of those weird situations. He signed an extension last offseason, a 2-year deal last offseason. It's like, what did you expect to happen? You thought they were just going to be like, all right, here's more money 1 year later.
Also, I don't cut you off. So I know we got some new viewers in here. I'm loving the interactions. I'm loving everything. Just a heads up. So today, before we wrap up the show later, we are going to give up our top 5. And to kind of get y'all guys to stick around, we're going to give this week is a deep dive in the top 5. We're going to give our top 5 fast food cheeseburgers.
Shout out to Tyler DeRosa, the Ocho in here.
Most liked
comment
on Twitter.
Most liked comment on the Twitter post. So
and with some big boys, sir. So we didn't have a cheeseburger or two.
I ain't never met one I don't like. So
yeah, that
is a tough list, son.
That's right. It's a tough list. So that will be later. List. So every Tuesday we do a top 5. And we kind of post it on Twitter and we get everybody's ideas of Five Guys is not fast food. The fast food requirement is a drive-through.
Have to have a drive-through.
Did not include
Five Guys, Smash Burger, anything like that. Got to have a drive-through.
So yeah, just look out for the future. Try to keep you guys hanging around. Put your ideas in Twitter, and we will talk about them. Also, while we're talking about fantasy, I'm thinking that we might do on every, we're kind of doing Tuesdays now. We'll go back to our live Tuesdays, but also do a live on Thursdays where we just sit here and just kind of shoot from the hip and talk fantasy football while football's back. And I know a lot of people listen to fantasy football for a lot of rankings, a lot of, hey, what about this guy and this guy? But you can't really get that when you listen to Spotify. Well, guess what? We're going to be live and doing this shit. So we can answer any of y'all's questions, any of your roster help. We can compare and contrast people. It's just a way more active way to talk fantasy football than just because how we did it in the past was we would release its own whole podcast. We would break down rankings. We would break down players, but it was just not interactive. So I'm thinking, maybe if we have enough following, and we'll do that maybe like a live every Thursday when fantasy, maybe like 2 weeks from now or something. Week 3, we'll start like maybe week 3 of the of preseason. We'll start talking about our PPR rankings and stuff like that, and we can give y'all breakdowns of like, hey, I want to start this guy in the flex. Who do you think is going to have a better week against this matchup? It's just way more interactive kind of way to do fantasy football. So I don't know, just food for thought for everybody. What you think about that, Rim Breezy?
I mean, I didn't just win a championship or anything like that in fantasy.
Yeah, Remy won it. So I came in second. From worst to first.
From worst to first, baby. From worst to first.
Hey, just stay tuned, Austin.
So
your boy lives in Phoenix.
Oh yeah, we got a West Coaster a little bit out here now. I will say
your boy lives in Phoenix. So
my top 5 list is going to be a little. My fast food burger experience is limited because I've lived in South Carolina almost my entire life. So,
well, I don't want to hear your excuses for your shitty list. But yeah, Matt said maybe a subscriber league. That could be something we're maybe interested in. Winner gets a gift card. Because while we're just kind of riffing about football while we're here, we did do a last year we had somebody on every week. We would have guest pickers. This was when we did a lot of Spotify stuff.
Yeah.
So we'd have a guest picker on, and he would go head to head against me and Remy. And if he had to beat both of us, but if he did, would give him a gift card. We only lost once, right?
I think we lost one time.
So
we didn't do every week, but the weeks we did, I think we lost once.
So yeah, so we're trying to bring that back. We'll see how we end up. Whoever we bring on, of course, have to have like a mic and a camera. So that might be kind of limited in that aspect. Requirement
needed,
but it's cool. I always enjoyed the pick'ems. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like that. So we're definitely kind of getting back in a rhythm. If you look us up on Spotify, we haven't released a Spotify episode since like November of 21. When I first moved out here, maybe it was 20. When I first moved out here, we were doing just Spotify stuff. Then we decided to transition to more YouTube Live, Facebook Live, stuff like that. But hopefully we can get our RSS feed figured out. We can go back to releasing some stuff because we want to do live, and we also want to just sit here where me and Remy just talk for way too long about sports and just because a lot of times people like that during the week where we'll release a 3-hour episode and they'll listen to it throughout the week.
Yeah.
So, but we're definitely trying to get back into it. We appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button, smash it, tell all your friends about us. We're a bunch of big boys who love cheeseburgers and football. I mean, honestly.
I think that's the new slogan.
I mean, honestly.
I think that's the new slogan. Couple of just little tidbits, I guess, before we hop off the NFL, because I know we still got.
Well, I got to talk Panthers, but we'll do your tidbits first.
Oh yeah, yeah. I want Panthers for last because I've seen some emotion come out of you. Just a couple of things. Sean McVay announced that he has signed an extension with the Rams.
Everybody thought he was going to retire.
He's weird. Pretty sure I'm older than him at this point.
Well, you're an old man, so
so of course. Mekhi Becton, the tackle for the Jets, really.
That's a good question coming up, by the way.
Really needed a good offseason. After being hurt week 1 last year, not being able to come back, came in overweight, broken kneecap out for the season. Really tough for him. So that's tough. I mean, as a Dolphins fan, you hate to love to see it, but it's not a bad thing for me. It just sucks for that young guy because first round pick. Showed a lot of promise first year, second year out with injury, third year out with injury. It's going to be pretty tough there. Jakeem Grant, former Dolphins legend, now Brown, torn Achilles tendon, out for the season. One of the weird stories that came out today was the Washington Commanders firing their defensive line coach a month before the season starts.
Very weird.
That was weird. Especially a guy who's been on Ron Rivera's staff,
the legend,
for years. I mean, he was on Ron Rivera's staff with the Panthers. So to release a guy that close to season is kind of an odd thing. And then I think the biggest one, and this came out just a little bit later this afternoon, is Roger Goodell is pushing hard for Deshaun Watson's suspension to be increased to at least a year. Said that he was, quote unquote, had predatory behavior. So Goodell is trying to push for the longer suspension.
Goodell out here just trying to save face, bro. But I mean, I think he did. I think if you asked everybody, if you polled the country, people would be like, you know what, a year.
I agree. But this is my whole issue where everyone was mad for all those years that Goodell was judge, jury, executioner. Now you're like, oh, well, we're not happy with the process. Well, if he would have been judge, jury, executioner, Deshaun would have been out indefinitely. So, it's a little give and take on that one. But I'm interested to see where that goes. I do agree it should be extended out. It should be a 1-year suspension. So we shall see how that plays out.
So, we have a good question here. Ethan, what's going on, man? Glad you're tuning in. And once again, before we get out of the NFL talk, if y'all have questions, you have anything y'all want to answer, put it in the chat. We'll definitely get to it. Put it in the chat. So because the most underrated offensive line in the NFL, Remy, who do you think?
Oh, man.
Underrated
offensive lines. I got to see who's like rated highly.
I want to say, I don't want to be a homer here, but I want to say, I'm not saying the most underrated, but I think the Panthers have a pretty underrated offensive line.
So who was it? I think it might have been ESPN. Somebody just released their rankings for offensive lines. They actually had y'all ranked up there a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the acquisitions that we got, I think the Panthers are going to have a pretty solid offensive line. I think it's going to be better than maybe in the past. I think, it's just one of those things where we have to see how they gel and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Any news in Panther? I'm going to get to the Panther stuff here. That's going to be the last thing we get to. So, any other questions about that? I think the Panthers' offensive line is going to be pretty good. Did you hear about Penei Sewell just whipping the shit out of old buddy in practice?
Nothing you can tell me about Penei Sewell.
So he was number one overall pick, right?
Hutchinson. He was the number one prospect. The Jaguars took Walker out of Georgia.
Okay, that's right.
Hutchinson went second to the Lions.
So apparently Sewell has been destroying him in practice, according to the reports.
Well, I mean, dude, like I said, I'm not surprised at all.
I don't mean to jinx it. Knock on wood. But Penei Sewell is one of my most underrated offensive linemen in the league. That dude is unbelievable.
It's tough to say underrated offensive lines because to me, there's two categories of offensive lines. You got good offensive lines, you got bad offensive lines.
Yep.
So like an underrated offensive line to me, I guess, is someone who maybe you expect to be bad but could shock you and be good.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, and this is all wait and see,
right?
Because how bad they were last year, but the
maybe y'all's offensive
that they made. I think Miami's offensive line will be drastically improved from last year, but the offensive line, I think, that was so atrociously bad last year, but I think will take a big step forward this year, is the Cincinnati Bengals. I love the moves that they made along that offensive line. I love that they said
they have to get better.
You struck gold with Joe Burrow. You got to protect that asset. And so they go out, they bring in Lael Collins, they bring in they get back Jonah Williams, former first-round pick. They got some guys back healthy. They were very bad last year. One of the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that they did the things they needed to be I don't think they'll be a top 5 offensive line, but I think they'll be much better than they were last year.
I agree.
And I think the same thing of the Dolphins offensive line, but we'll see. I think the Bengals did more, though, to plug the holes that they had than what Miami did, because Miami's still relying on.
We'll see about
Miami's
interior is
Miami's whole thing is they just missed. They've because people go, you draft offensive line. Well, it's not that. We've drafted offensive line.
You've missed them
consistently been drafting them early in the draft and just missing the picks. Austin Jackson was a first-round pick. So far, he's been an absolute bust.
Yep.
Ecklenberg from last year, Eichenberg, who was the second-round pick last year. The jury's still out on him, but
he'll probably be a guard.
Great last year. We third-rounder on Robert Hunt, fourth-rounder on Kinley. So that they've dumped a ton of draft capital into the offensive line. They've just missed more than they've hit. So we'll see. I still think there's two major holes in that Dolphins offensive line, but they've plugged it with first and second round picks that hopefully should come through.
So Matt says here he thinks Seattle or the Chargers have a very underrated offensive line.
I was looking at the Chargers, and I will say that Slater, the rookie from last year, is a stud.
Yeah, he's
a stud. And they paid a lot of money to the center position.
Which, so if I'm a center,
why
I would not want to go play for the Chargers. Year out.
I know Austin also in here, big Chargers fan. Right tackle, weak on the Chargers. That was what I was going to say. They have plugged and played multiple right tackles, and they are turnstiles. Mm-hmm. It's been tough for that position, but if all things work out, like I said, when you've got a stud left tackle, you've got what should be one of the better centers in the league,
To be honest with you, like you said,
just
though,
need good play from the rest.
How really an underrated offensive line? That question gets answered at like week 8.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, damn, this offensive line really came together. This guy kind of stepped up to Pro Bowl level. This guy's pretty good. You don't really know on the surface. You see names on a sheet, and you know the good offensive lines and how they roll over to the next year. But
now, one that intrigues me is the Giants, because the Giants they've spent early first round picks on left tackles in the last couple of drafts. So Andrew Thomas out of Georgia on one side, Evan Neal and this year's draft. So it'll be an interesting thing to see just that high a draft capital. I mean, those guys were both early picks to see if they can piece together something. Now, the interior, still some question marks, but when you've put top 10 draft picks on both tackle positions, you're really hoping that offensive line pans out.
I think this might be a good transition into my Panthers talk. So we're speaking of left tackles. The Panthers drafted a left tackle this past year. I don't know if any of y'all remember. The number 1 left tackle on the big board. Number 1 left tackle coming out of college. He was out of North Carolina State. He's a mauler. He's everyone calls him Icky. Been running with the 2s and 1. He kind of rotates between 1s and 2s. You think you would draft a top tackle and, he would be especially how bad Cam Irving has been, literally a turnstile. They already posted clips of him trying to block Brian Burns. Didn't happen in camp because he's terrible. But, Matt Rule is a clown. He's an idiot. Some would say he's an ass clown. And he's definitely a coward, and he's probably the worst coach in the NFL. So he runs the Panthers like they're a college program out of mid-Texas. What's up, Mike?
Mike J.
The Panthers are a joke. Is the season over yet already? I wish it was. No, it's because we're in the worst situation, right? You hate him. I hate him. I don't get all carried away about this shit. I fucking hate this dude. Matt Rule.
I can confirm this. Every day I get a tweet.
He takes anything nice and shits on it. Just dumps on it. And it's like, bro, every reporter in the world is coming out and talking about pretty obvious Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback on the team. Like, that's very obvious. He's running away with it. We have reports coming out. Nah, bro. There's still quarterback controversy. There's still quarterback competition. No, bro. Sam Darnold's terrible. He hasn't completed a pass since I was like 12, I feel like. My man ain't thrown a touchdown in 3 years. But nah, those stats are fake, but he's fucking terrible. And
man.
We're trying – we go out and we get one of the best centers in free agency, Remy, and he's on the depth chart as number 2. He's not even the starting center, bro. I swear to God. I swear to God, we going out here, we're trying to fix offensive line, and he's shitting on it. And he's a coach that we're still in the worst situation. We're in a spot where we have a pretty okay roster. He's a lame duck coach, so he's going to try everything in his possibility and everything he can to win as many games as he can. So we're going to win 6, 7, 8 ball games. We're going to get a mid fucking pick. We're not going to get a quarterback. We're going to have to. Who knows what we're going to end up doing in that position? It's because and also our owner's a joke. We have one of the worst owners in the league. He is a clown too. He just throws money at everything and hopes the shit works. Bro, he started a freaking multi-million-dollar thing in Rock Hill. It's just rotting away. He had to file bankruptcy on that shit because he's not going through with it. He started building half the facility and just said, nah, we ain't going to do what we said. We ain't going to do what we said we're going to do in Rock Hill and walked away from it. The dude is a clown, bro. He's a clown, and he should have fired Matt Rule last year. He should have just let him go.
I saw the meme saying that's about to be the world's nicest Spirit Halloween.
Bro.
Facility.
He touched me everywhere.
Started building.
Touched me emotionally. I can't stand him. I can't stand him. And we sat here, and I wanted to be his fan. I wanted to be in his corner. I'm like, Matt Rule, he's gonna run it. He flipped Baylor's program around. We're gonna be okay. No, bro. Nah, he's running this shit in the ground, and we ain't firing him. Everybody looks at him as like, bro, Matt Rule's kind of a joke. Like league wide, there's like memes about him when he takes pictures with coaches and shit. He looks so awkward. Bro.
He is an awkward looking dude.
He's
now. I want to rewind back a year ago, and you were full of optimism. You had this optimism about you.
I did,
maybe
it'll never happen again.
Maybe Sam Darnold's the guy. I just think about this, and you don't have to think about it, but for the people out there that are listening, you went last year and said, you know what? We're going to go get Sam Darnold. Number 3 overall pick from a couple of years ago.
I'm stupid.
Maybe still some potential.
Don't listen to what I have to say.
Could be the guy to lead the franchise. Now, me,
never again.
Being a person that has common sense.
Remy, I'm in the dumps, and you're throwing this shit on me.
No. I'm not coming at you. I'm coming.
I'll eat the shit.
I'm coming at your organization, which you just did. You go and get Sam Darnold, and I'm just, he's just never been that dude for me. So now you fast forward a year. First off, you picked up the 5th-year option, which was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. You got the guy for
Remy,
cheap.
We literally
gave him the 5th-year option.
We literally didn't even see him throw a football.
No, before he even took a snap, 5th-year option. Why?
We could have done that anytime.
Why? You could have done it anytime. Or if he played bad like he did, you let him walk. Bro. It's over.
I got a stomach full of white dog shit, and you're throwing this shit on me?
So now you fast forward to this year, and it's Baker's out there, and now you trade for Baker. This is back-to-back off seasons. Your team has just traded for former first-round draft pick quarterbacks, and is just hoping. There's no direction. You're literally it's being a Dolphins fan, bud. I'm telling you, you're kind of in that rut where we were for 15 years. You don't have a sense of direction with the franchise. It's like
I'm a guy. I want to either go for it or suck. There's no in between, bro.
You're exactly right. Your roster is good enough to win some games. You're not a terrible team. You're good enough to win some games. You got some talented pieces all over the place. Baker is much better than Sam Darnold.
I think like I'll bias aside, we're not the biggest Baker podcast.
Mm-hmm.
When we said that he was one of the weak links to a good Browns roster,
mm-hmm.
I think he has a ceiling. That ceiling is way higher than Sam Darnold's.
And I've said it
infinitely higher.
Talked about this already. I put Baker to me is the definition of an average quarterback. I think he's the 16th to 18th best quarterback in the league.
Every now and then he's going to have games where you're like, damn, dude, he was a pretty good game. But he's not going to beat a top guy. When Baker goes up against the top quarterbacks in the league, he's not going to win.
Short Kirk Cousins.
I think
honestly Kirk is a little better than Baker.
Honestly, I think Kirk's better than Baker too.
Yeah, Kirk's better than Baker, but he's an improvement over Sam Darnold because anyone's an improvement over Sam Darnold. But
honestly, I'm a clown for ever even uttering out my mouth. It's just
such a weird position to be in, bud. You just, you drafted Matt Corral, but that's a shot in the dark. Like I think he could be good, but he's a project quarterback. So
to be honest about him though, he's actually been doing really well.
No, like I said, when the draft was coming around, I thought he was like the wild card out of all of them. I said, he could be the best one out of them all, or he could never start a game in the NFL. We'll have to see how it pans out for him. But it is a weird situation to be in right now where you've thrown a dart in the dark, hoping the last 2 off seasons that you can make this trade for a quarterback who maybe hopefully still has something in him that people haven't seen yet. But you're too good to be like, well, if he doesn't pan out, we'll just take Bryce Young in the first round. This is not going to happen.
No, that's what I'm saying. So we're just good enough to not get a good quarterback. But if you're a Panther staff, how do you come out and you go trade for Baker? You know what you should have done? You trade for Baker Mayfield, Clearly, Baker Mayfield's going to be the starter. Clearly, everybody in the world knows this. There's no quarterback controversy. You eat the $19 million because you ain't going to trade him. You cut Sam Darnold, and you drafted Matt Corral. There's no need to carry all these quarterbacks. You're looking like an idiot out here because you're trying to make up for the mistakes of giving him the contract extension. Who cares? The Panthers are going to be average anyway. To eat the dead cap money, you cut him. You move on from Sam Darnold. Why are we in camp right now talking about a quarterback controversy? We're a bad football team with a terrible coach. We wouldn't even have that conversation if we would have just cut a terrible football player in Sam Darnold.
Matt Rule's going to win enough games to keep his job.
I know, because he's a lame duck coach, Remy. He's a lame duck coach.
Enough games to keep his job next year.
I know. This is why I'm so ill. This is why I'm so mad.
1 year from now, we're going to have this exact same conversation.
But Sam Darnold will be on the team. End of the day, Sam Darnold will not be on the team. I don't give a fuck how it ends up happening. People are like, maybe we just keep him around to see if there's an injury. So what? Then they could call us and tell him to cut him, and they'll pick him up. They ain't nobody trading for Sam Darnold.
Ain't nobody trading for Darnold unless y'all pay $18 million of the $19 million.
There was a time where all the media was like hyping up maybe they should trade Sam Darnold for Baker Mayfield, and the Browns are like, nah, we'll just keep fucking old buddy. We'll just run Jacoby Brissett. We good.
Fam, we fine. There's still people, though. I'm still seeing it in the media, dude. I'm still seeing it in the national sports media. There are still Sam Darnold believers out there for some reason, and I don't know. I don't know why. I've yet to. What has he done? Other than being a tall white guy that can throw the ball far? What has he done?
Bro, he is the most scared quarterback I've ever seen in the pocket.
To start the season last year, the beginning of the season, I almost felt like because he looked. Maybe,
you know why he looked? You know why he looked okay? Because of Christian McCaffrey will make any quarterback look decent. Whenever you go first read, Christian McCaffrey. They don't even go through the reads. No. They're like, I'm just gonna dump it.
The first dude ain't wide open, we're dumping it down. So yeah, I mean it's tough, man. Trust me, dude.
But all that being said, I kind of ride with Baker. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh shit!
Baker Mayfield rocks a visor. You feel me? He got some swag. So, we'll see.
I know you saw it since you brought that up. I don't want to bring this up, but I'm sure you saw the pictures. Did you see the pictures of Josh Allen and the all red, the red jersey, the red helmet, the red visor?
Bro.
It was disgusting. I threw up in my mouth. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
The Buffalo Bills need red helmets, bro.
It was gross.
The Buffalo Bills need red helmets.
How do they sleep at night knowing they have to put that shit on every day? They got them. They have red helmets. They're bringing back. It's like their throwback, where they used to wear the red helmets with the blue jerseys. They're wearing them. But Josh Allen came out, red jersey, red helmet, red visor.
Is he sleeping at the stadium? Yeah, dude.
Is he sleeping at the stadium?
Bank of America Stadium isn't.
Or Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
Oh yeah, that's commercials. He gets traded stadiums. He's in Charlotte now.
That'd be hilarious.
Interesting, but I think Baker clearly wins the job over Sam Darnold. I think y'all win 7 football games. And I think Matt Rule gets to somehow keep his job. And then you just have the 12th pick, and you won't be able to get a star quarterback again. So we'll see in a year, bud. I feel for you. I've been in your shoes for 20-plus years now. I get it.
Also, I'm over here. The reason why it's getting me really fired up. Also, the Braves are losing 4-5 right now to the Red Sox. And Charlie Morton is just getting shelled. But what are you going to do? So that was our football talk. We're going to talk some NBA. Remy, you want to talk about the topic? Start with number one?
Yeah, number one topic that came out from, I believe the news dropped yesterday. My favorite thing to talk about in the NBA, Kevin Durant.
Of course, the Nets.
Kevin Durant. So, report came out. Kevin Durant met with the ownership of the Brooklyn Nets, or I guess the guy's title is governor Brooklyn Nets governor, which was weird to me, Joe Tsai, and basically gave them an ultimatum. Said it's either me or the GM and coach go. Mm-hmm. And it's just the most Kevin Durant shit that I can't even. How do you just keep making this shit up? So he said it's either the GM and coach go or I'm out, and I want to be traded. And interesting enough, the governor of the Brooklyn Nets came out and said, well, we support our staff. So it looks like the Nets are going to be keeping their GM and head coach, of course, who is Steve Nash, and trying to move on from Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. He's also a clown, so it's hard for me to really believe it.
He is tough to take serious, man.
Dude,
he really is.
Like,
Who
to be
hurt him.
To be so good, dude, you know what's so weird? Imagine LeBron James moving in this way. Imagine if his whole career LeBron moved this way.
But just to me, it's even more the mentality behind everything. Like, why Kevin Durant is constantly attacking people, like just on the
Twitter.
Internet.
Hilarious.
Yeah, like just constantly attacking people. Mm-hmm. He's just an asshole. Like, honestly, he's just an asshole.
Sit him for the entire year.
Dude, I mean,
later, bro. Thanks for talking. Man.
Take it easy, Austin. Appreciate it. I don't get it, man. Like, honestly, at what point do the teams go, yeah, we're not trading you. We got you under contract for 4 more years. Mm-hmm. You either play or you don't play. Sorry. Like, we got a franchise to run, bud. Like,
do you think, they had the whole thing where it was like the Celtics were kind of shopping Jaylen Brown for him and stuff. The Nets are in this weird situation where they got to get a lot back in return.
I mean,
they got to. They got to
get a ton back.
How you doing? But yeah, they're in a tough spot. Who knows? It's this league, NBA, always doing some bullshit.
At what point is he just not worth it? I
mean, he's still the second best player in basketball, but
he is a bona fide superstar. I'm not taking that away from him. He is one of the best people that have ever touched a basketball in the history of mankind. But dude,
what's crazy is people are going to remember Kevin Durant for, LeBron wants to get remembered for rings and winning and all this shit, but people are going to remember Kevin Durant for joining remember when he joined Golden State? Remember when Kevin Durant went to the Nets and forced to trade out? Remember when Kevin Durant was on the Thunder and was up 3-1 and ended up going to the team that beat him 3 games in a row? Like, that's how people are going to remember him by. And it kind of
how can I forget?
It's unfortunate for his talent, but he get what you get.
Yeah, he's just a bad dude. I don't like him. Great player. I don't like him.
Play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, bro.
You want to be teammates with Kyrie Irving? This is what you get.
Honestly, just the weirdest collab. Him.
Their projected record for next year is 40-42.
Nice.
So,
did you see the whole? Did you see the whole DeJounte shit? With,
bro, all right.
I'm gonna blow your back out.
I'm glad you brought this up. Me and Tyler were talking about this earlier. I want to get your take on all this DeJounte Murray madness that has been going on the last few days.
Hey, bro, I seen the X-ray. DeJounte Murray got that dog in him, bro.
What has he been doing?
DeJounte got that dog in him, bro. Did you see the clip of him? Did you see the clip of him shitting on him in the game?
Bro, all right, so let's talk about this. Because this is exactly what me and Tyler were talking about. We knew you were all
dog in him.
DeJounte Murray side.
He got that dog in him.
Because he's a hawk and you're going to love him.
Yep.
My man's out here shitting on people in pro-ams, bro. Like, you should be better than that guy. He plays pickup games on the weekends. You're one of the best players in the NBA. Why are you shitting on? Like, it's different, though. Like, just be better than people. But he's doinking people in the head with the ball. He's like pointing and laughing at just random white dudes on the ground. Like, I saw a clip came out today. Dude goes in for a layup, gets a shot block, lands on the ground. DeJounte Murray gets the rebound and like points the ball in his face. Like, why are you clowning random Joes that are playing pickup basketball in pro-ams. What are you doing?
Remy Brennan, you're soft.
No.
Remy Brennan's soft, not Murray. Murray's a dog, bro. You step on the court, he's going to clown you.
Get out of here.
Bro, the Hawks about to win the ship.
I thought, like, okay, of course he was in San Antonio and nothing ever. You're not allowed to be a star in San Antonio. You're a cog in the machine when you play for the Spurs. Never in my life did I think he was just the biggest douche in the world. He's just out here.
Bro.
Why? Why are you doinking the ball off of some dude's head?
Nobody ever heard of DeJounte for this year when he become an all-star. He's got his platform now, baby. We outside. We ready to go. Let's go.
Tyler said, act like you've been there.
He ain't never been there.
You've been to a pro-am. No. Where you're playing amateur basketball players, and you're
speaking of pro-am, did you see the Knicks roster lose the pro-am game by like 20?
I didn't know about this until Tyler told me a little bit before we started this. That's
3 of the best Knicks players. Well, it was Obi Toppin, what's his name, the power forward,
Julius Randle,
and Brunson,
Jalen Brunson.
They got dogged in a pro-am.
Dude, that's
never.
bad.
That would never happen to DeJounte.
Yeah, no shit. Because he's out there giving everybody concussions.
Because he's a baller. Let's go. Come on. Sorry. Harris just got one. The Braves just tied it up.
Get out of here, DeJounte Murray. Just stop clowning just regular dudes. What he did to Banchero. Dude,
get shit on Banchero. Talk your shit.
It was a hell of a move, but he gets the ball, yeets it back at him. Like, what are you doing? It's a pro-am, bro.
To be honest with you, bro, I think he's just bored as fuck right now.
I mean,
I can't wait for the Hawks this year. Though, we gonna be.
He out here acting like he on the Timberwolves who just won a play-in game, bro.
He is.
Chill out.
Speaking of your Timberwolves, they're trash. So we'll keep that going. But yeah, let's get this plane. Let's get this train back on the tracks here. You can't be talking about my boy DeJounte. He got that dog in him. Murray. Let's go. Anything else for NBA before we go to college football?
Weird thing that came out a couple days ago. It's actually been a couple days back, but LeBron and the Lakers held contract talks. That's confusing. Why? We all know what LeBron's doing.
Yeah. He's gonna play with his son, so
he's gonna play with Bronny. Like that's what he. So it's weird to me. It's like why are we having contract talks? We know what he's doing. We know he's planning it out. So that if Bronny got to make it to the league first. So, but I think if you're a team, you draft Bronny no matter what, so you get LeBron James on your team.
I agree for sure. We'll talk some. We've been going for a little while here. We're going to talk some college football, and then we will get into our top 5 and get out of here. So college football real quick. You see where the Big Ten is transitioned. They're near a deal with Fox, CBS, and NBC.
I did see that. I saw that is coming.
It's about to be a shakeup in the TV.
Oh, it's wild. Because, now ESPN, I think, just basically is all SEC.
Yep.
But ESPN
Thank God. Thank you.
So, but I did see where ESPN may try to make a run at the Big 12 and Pac-12 just to have something else.
Sorry, I missed Matt's
to put out there.
Question there. Suns are ass. All right, keep going. No, they're great, but I mean,
Suns will be good. Can they win a championship? That's all that matters now.
Right.
But I did see ESPN might try to make a run at the Big 12 and Pac-12 before they fold because that's what's coming. But we'll see. I mean, I love it. Listen, the Big Ten, don't get me wrong. You do great for me early morning football, when I'm just waking up and I want to see a bunch of corn-fed white boys run the ball.
It's early for me. 9 a.m. early.
Yeah. Early for you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they still got some stadiums that don't have lights, so they can't even play night games.
Yeah.
Which is don't get me wrong, it's near and dear to my heart. But I'm glad that we get SEC on ESPN.
Thank you. I'm so tired of watching games. Looks like it's 1980.
Bro, CBS. I don't get
Please
it,
God,
man.
let the Big 12 fold sooner. Dude, I don't know what the Big 12 is going to do. They're going to hang on. They're going to get some other guys from the lower league in. It's going to be crazy with the mega conferences and stuff. I don't know if you've seen the Gamecocks getting a little. Saw him throw the football the other day. I saw my boy Spencer Rattler slinging it, bro. They said Spencer Rattler is the most impressive quarterback they've seen in a really long time. Also, got rumblings that this is the most impressive roster South Carolina's had since 2013. Also, Jordan Birch is going to be starting defensive end on the team.
Everything you just said
should be things.
Those should be things. Like, you know me, I'm not like the Spencer Rattler homer like some of these other Gamecocks fans are. I still got to see it before I believe it. But he should be the most impressive quarterback we've seen ever. He's the best, the highest touted quarterback we've ever had. So yes, he should be that.
I can't,
especially over the past,
to be honest,
10 years.
I hope he's good. To be honest with you, my hype is just I pray, I hope, because if he's bad, I'm never going to hear the end from Jonathan Rossi ever. That's all he tells you is how shitty Spencer Rattler is because he went to Oklahoma and Jonathan cares more about Oklahoma than his own team, Texas. Weird, but that's where we're at.
I can almost confirm that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I got some excitement, but I'm tamping my expectations.
Still,
bro.
my excitement is 7 to 8 win football, but I think we're going to be decent to watch. Is my whole thing. I think we're going to actually have. I mean, we have Cam Smith. We have some secondary guys that's coming back. We played a decent brand of football for how bad the roster was last year.
And you brought this up last week when we spoke a little bit about the Gamecocks. Like the fact that we won 7 games last year is nothing short of a miracle. There were a couple of games we won we had no business winning. That should have been a 4 or 5 win football team.
Right.
They ended up winning 7. Thank the heavens above. This year's team, if they win 7 or 8 ball games, should win them because they're the better team on the field.
Right.
Like I said, we had a couple of games last year. It's like,
I say we go 8-5. We go 7-5 in the regular season, and we win the bowl game.
And win a bowl.
That's where I'm at. So 8 wins with the bowl.
I'm kind of right there with you on that one.
I'm right there with Caleb. Caleb says 7-5. I think the schedule is just too tough for us to make a really run and stuff.
It's a very tough schedule,
but it's going to be good to win some football games. I think we're going to be at least we're going to be able to watch them. Last year, there was literally times where it was. When I say it was the worst football I've ever watched in my life, I am not lying.
Bad.
And I have watched. I have watched a lot of football. I've watched a lot of bad football.
We should have lost to Vanderbilt last year, bud.
We should have lost. Remember the Lafayette game, Remy? Do you remember
where they kept just giving us the ball back?
Do you remember?
We should have lost the game,
dude.
They just kept giving us the ball.
You know, Matt, I will say I think the Hogs are. You know what's crazy? Even back when Carolina was good and running through their times, we still struggle with Arkansas. We would always find a way to lose. We would go win, especially going to Arkansas. That's a tough trip. I think y'all have a good football team. If we can somehow beat you guys, which I'm not predicting. I think we lose to y'all, of course. But if we do somehow beat you guys, I think we're in for a pretty big year because that's a big barometer.
I don't know if Matt was in here when we talked about it, but I think both of us kind of agreed that's the bar setter for us is if we
it's not lose, it's compete.
Yeah. If we make that a game, if that's a close game going late into the game, or if we somehow find a way to win the game, that's going to determine a lot about how Carolina season's going to look. Now, if we go into Arkansas and they absolutely spank us, it's going to be a long road. But I think that's a big bar setter,
big barometer for sure.
Like. Yeah,
for sure. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to college football. To be honest with you, as you can tell, my hatred toward Matt Rule has shit on my NFL.
Shifted your love back to the NCAA.
I'm back. We back. Matt Rule's a clown and a coward, and I'm going to cry every time we get to the 35-yard line and we punt. It's going to be great. And how many times? How many times?
We did do that.
How many times did we do that last year? Dude, I can't. I don't.
This is looking like points. No.
Nah. We about to score some. Nah, we gonna punt this fucking football. Let's go. Let's see here. Who is the best player in college football and why is his name Bashar? Dude, that dude's a stud though. Have you seen that guy?
Oh,
the
yeah,
running back
good.
from Texas?
Oh yeah.
Remember that when he hurdled the guy and almost broke his back? Yeah, what was he thinking there?
The best player in college football is the outside linebacker for Alabama, and I don't even think he's particularly close. That kid is unbelievable. He should have won the Heisman Trophy last year. It's a sham that defensive players don't get enough credit for. They play half the game. Their
name is Will Anderson.
Yes, Will Anderson. Yes. Shockingly, there is another side of the football outside of the offense, and it seems that the NCAA and the NFL have tended to forget that. Especially when it comes to giving out awards. What Will Anderson did last year was insane. If you go look at his numbers, they are absolute insanity. He led the league in tackles for loss. He led the league.
You know what's crazy?
It was bonkers.
That guy should be playing in the pros right now.
Yeah. And he will be 1 year from today.
1 year from today.
1 year from today, he will be in a training camp
with
being a top 5 draft pick. The dude was bonkers.
I think, I don't get too caught up in the top 25 poll in the beginning of the year. Arkansas.
This could be a conspiracy. It could not be. I swear to God, the top 25 poll for the first week of the year is just to drive up ratings for the first week's matchups. Is all it is.
That's all it is. But it does kind of take in the fact it's kind of shitty because it takes in the fact the rankings throughout the year, because you're like, well, this team was 18th ranked and this team beat the 12th ranked, where deep down they should not have been that high or that low. It's kind of fucked. I think Arkansas is a top 15 program. I think they're a top 15 team. They have a really good quarterback and they're really well coached, as Caleb said. So I wouldn't put too much into that.
I sent you. I just wanted to touch on this because I want to speak this out for the rest of the world to hear. I sent you a text message earlier, picture from ESPN's list of all of the U's. Who is QBU? Who is RBU? Who is wide receiver U? Did you see this text I sent you?
I saw that.
Did you see the message I sent you?
I didn't even understand what was going on in that.
I just want to get this off my chest.
We're getting there, Jacob. We're getting there. We're about to get to our top 5.
Next. They listed wide receiver U. Now, this is from, I think it says 1998 until the present time. I think it's like the modern era of college football is what they're basing it off of. They said wide receiver U is Southern California.
Maybe the most bust I've ever seen in my life.
Busts, yes. All up and down. Yes, early draft picks never live up to their potential for the most part.
He's winning the natty. Bill, he always comes here and got some Texas A&M hype.
Just throws in the Texas A&M jabs every time.
Love it.
Now, this is what I wanted to pinpoint in this article because I sent the whole thing to you, and I want you to riddle me this. So they say, even in a down year when the coach was fired and the offense struggled, USC managed to produce a star at wide receiver with Drake London selected 8th overall in this year's NFL draft. USC's lead over LSU and Alabama, 2 schools producing a torrent of top receivers lately, actually grew from 2021 as recent draftees Amon-Ra St. Brown and Michael Pittman blossomed in the NFL. In the last 2 seasons, correct me if I'm wrong, LSU has produced the single 2 greatest rookie wide receivers to have ever played in the NFL.
Yeah.
How did their league grow?
Because guys were good, decent. That's so weird.
How did you want to crown their asses, crown them?
So their top 5 was USC, LSU, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Ohio State.
How are you going to write in this article that Southern Cal's lead has grown over those 2 schools? Mind you, what Alabama has thrown out there is deeper than what LSU has thrown out there. But LSU has thrown out the 2 greatest rookie wide receivers ever in back-to-back seasons. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he's great. Michael Pittman, I think, is on the verge of becoming a star. They're not better than Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. They're not. How did the league grow? This is garbage article.
Everybody, Jake says everyone's here for the burgers. Wide receiver U is Ohio State, LSU, Clemson, and Alabama, USC, Texas, and Clemson are all overhyped. Boom!
Boom! Finally, some common sense.
Let's go.
Much appreciated.
So, yeah, so kind of recapping, if y'all are new, what's been going on here today. We talked some NFL to begin with, a lot of NFL. We talked really quickly on NBA. Then we just talked some college football. So we're about to go into our deep dive in our top 5 fast food cheeseburgers. But before we get into that, because that's going to be the last thing we do today, we just, want to kind of thank everybody for hanging in here. It's been fun, kind of keeping everybody up to date. Before we get in the top 5, look out for the Twitter posts. Please give us what y'all want us to break down and list and stuff. And the one that has the most likes, me and Remy will talk about it, and then that'll probably be the one that we end up giving our top 5 for. So,
and like I said earlier, if you weren't in here before and you're in here now, for the love of God, please go follow the Hard Pass Twitter. I'm going to be tweeting out like what we want our next top 5 list to be. I'm going to start doing some breaking news across the sports world. If you cannot find it, its name is Hard Pass Sports on Twitter, or you can go to my Twitter or Terry's Twitter, which are on the screen right now, and easily find it. We have 40 followers on Twitter. I want to grow that number up. Y'all have done a fantastic job. We've had a bunch of people switch over to the YouTube channel. Much love there. Want to try and get the Twitter base up a little bit, try and get some better numbers there. Please, if you have a Twitter, jump over there, like us, follow us, retweet us. Please help us.
Hey, we only have 4 likes on this thing. Let's everybody smash that like button.
Yeah.
And if
I hate to be that guy, I really do. Like, I've been thinking about this, dude. I hate to be that guy. It's like, yeah, man, smash that like button, hit the follow and subscribe. I hate to be that dude, but it does mean the world. I mean, it really does. I mean, the Facebook page has done well. It's got, I think, over 100-something followers on the Facebook page. I would love to see those numbers across the board. And the more we have people out there liking and sharing, I know especially on Twitter, man, when people start liking and retweeting your stuff, it spreads. I've had, like Terry said, with my Twitter clout, because I'm the king of Twitter, basically. I just comment on shit and get hundreds of likes from people I don't know just for saying a sports take or something like that. So anything that y'all can do to go out there, just hit the like button, hit the notifications tab on the YouTube page, on the Facebook page, so when we go live. I get notifications the moment we go live.
Popping in here and talking to us for a little bit, it means the world to us. So it gives us the will to keep pushing on. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're going to give our top 5 fast food cheeseburgers. So
once again, shout out to Tyler DeRosa.
Tyler DeRosa was the one that gave us this idea. He was he most liked post on Twitter on it. So the only criteria we really had was it had to have a drive-through.
Had to have a drive-through.
Fast food. So
no Five Guys.
With Remy Brennan, with that being said, I'm going to give you the floor. We do snake draft here.
5 to 1.
So we do 5 to 1. We're also maybe thinking about doing like a Mount Rushmore style where after Remy takes them, I can't take them. So instead of doing our top 5, maybe one day we'll get 5 rounds of drafts and then we'll compare it and we'll put it up on Twitter and then people will comment which top 5 was better. But we're not doing that right now. That's just something for the future.
All right. My number 5 fast food burger. Now, I made this choice not because it's the best burger, but this burger got me through some tough times. And that is the big double cheeseburger from Cookout. That big double tray, when times was tough and money was tight, your boy could scrounge up $6 and go get himself a cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not the best tasting burger, but for $5 back in the day.
Okay.
Number 5. You made it to my list.
Number 5 slides in. My number 5 burger is going to be the Wendy's Baconator. Wendy's burger,
5?
Baconator, number 5. Of course, you got to double up that bad boy. We're getting a lot of bacon and a lot of burger.
Damn, dude. 5? Oof. Now, I will preface this, of course, by saying I mentioned it earlier. My burger connoisseurship is a little restricted in that I've never had what a burger. I've never had In-N-Out. I've never had some of these.
That's
places,
because
so.
you gotta fly out. That's not an excuse. My number 4,
I gotta buy an airplane ticket to try fast food hamburgers.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Bet.
My number 4 is, a lot of people might hate on it, but it was one of the only few restaurants in Denmark, South Carolina, and it was a McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese, no pickles, add mac sauce. That's my number 4. That's a burger.
Damn, son. All right. My number 4. Going a little off on this one for you here. My number 4 is the Steak and Shake garlic double steak burger.
Steak and Shake got a drive-thru?
I consider Steak and Shake. I believe they do, but that's fast food. You better be fast. You better not be sitting in there too long. Bad things will happen.
We'll give you that one.
I think it's fast food.
Okay. Alan says it does. They do.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'm almost certain they do anyway.
Remy said his opinion is valid. He only eats plain burgers. Facts. Keep going. Drive-thru confirmed.
That's I mean, I get the flavor of the meat. That's what I'm basing this off of. Cheese, maybe grilled onions. All right. So if Jacob Clayton is still in the party on this one, my number 3 burger is a burger that is not currently being sold and has not been sold for a very long time, and it brings sadness to my heart every day. My number 3 is the Hardee's Patty Melt, specifically the Hardee's Patty Melt.
Okay.
It was so damn good, and they took it away from us. We need it back. I'll never forget the Jacob Clayton story living in Newberry.
It ain't fast. Facts.
Here's Jacob Clayton, our first week in Newberry, dude. Here's $20. Go to Hardee's, buy as many patty melts as this will buy. I walk in there, I order 6 patty melts. They looked at me like I was the fattest person on planet Earth. I heard them in the background. I hear the people in the back cooking. How many patty melts is that? 6. Are they here yet? No, it's just one guy.
It's just one guy. Alice
it's just the one guy.
So that's your number.
Alan hates Hardee's. He refuses to eat there.
Yeah, that's your number 3, right?
Number 3, the Hardee's Patty Melt.
So now you go number 2, right?
Or no, because I went 2 in a row. So now you go your number 3.
Oh, that's right. So my number 3 is a burger from Rally's. It's already been mentioned in the chat. It's a smoky barbecue bacon Buford. Ever since I moved out here, your boy fucks with Rally. They also have dope cheese sticks. But that's my number 3. I'm not going to lie. These last few, Remy, you're not going to know nothing about because game's a little different out here.
Okay.
Go ahead. So, so that's my number 3.
That's your number 3.
My number 2 is you got to go with Culver's. If you never had Culver's, kill yourself. Mushroom and Swiss butter burger. Butter burger from Culver's. Fire. Ask Jacob. Fire burger.
Mushroom and Swiss from Culver's. I've heard good things. I've heard very good things. Not an option for me, however.
Okay.
You know what? I'm just going to drop a couple $100 on a plane ticket. I'm going to come out there and eat some
burgers.
We'll
do a burger run.
I'm going to do some burgers. Now, my number 2, you have already stated, but it makes my list at number 2 is the McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese.
No pickles at mac sauce.
When done right, now, because it's McDonald's.
You never know.
You never know.
Coin.
It could be awful, but when they switched to that thing a couple years ago and they said it's never frozen, it's made fresh to order when you order it. If you get one that is fresh, like they pull that bad boy out, slap it on the grill, make it right then. So good. Such a good burger.
The Culver's next to Carowinds up in Charlotte. See, there's the Culver's in Charlotte. Boom. Before we give our number ones, I want everybody in the chat to tell me y'all's favorite burger. Favorite fast food cheeseburger.
Yeah, just throw some number ones out there for everyone.
Give me.
We'll try and pop them up on the screen. Bring them in.
Bring them in. And then we'll give our number one. Exit 1 on I-77 in North Carolina. There you go.
I'm on the way.
I'm telling you.
Tomorrow.
Culver's is fire, bro. I have one literally 0.1 miles away from my house. It's fire.
Well, I'm coming to visit, bud.
Hey, we got a couch now.
Shit.
Alan says the BK stack.
You're going to sit here and tell me Hardee's is not top 5 and you're going to throw Burger King number 1? Nah, fam. Nah.
Mike says that burger's fire, bro. You ever had Rallies?
It's pretty much Checkers. We have Checkers down here. It's been a long time since I've had Checkers.
Fire. Also, I was thinking, I was thinking about doing. I ain't saying it. I'll wait. We'll have our honorable mentions at the end, of course. Bacon cheese, the Whataburger, dude. Whataburger is fire, and I've only had it once, but the bang for your buck is good. It's really good. It doesn't. That's one of my. But Whataburger is one that was being an honorable mention for me. Once again, out here in the West, bro, we just living right.
You got
Checkers
the options.
Is fire in Georgia. Also, White Castle, another one I was just going to talk about.
That's White Castle shocker for me coming from Alan because White Castle burgers are onion burgers. They're just covered in onions. And
they're delicious.
Onions. No, I know.
There's a White Castle out here. There's one in Scottsdale. It's always busy.
I've had White Castle once in my life in New Jersey. Only time I've ever had it, but it's right up my alley. It's cheese and grilled onions on a burger.
Tyler said number 1 is the double quarter pounder ketchup only. If they make it fresh, it's nutty.
See, I agree. It's number 2 on my list, Tyler. Fresh is fire.
This is my number 4. No pickles, add mac sauce. I promise you. Try it. It'll change your fucking life.
I used to have back in the day. It used to add the mac sauce to McDoubles. Oh.
I'm telling you,
through some tough
double quarter pounder,
times,
no pickles,
bro.
Add mac sauce. Thank me fucking later. You don't fuck with raw onion. See, he likes cooked onion. Don't fuck with raw onion. Jonathan said the double meat Whataburger. I think there is a Whataburger where he's from down there. So Whataburger's fire. I will say that.
Never.
All right, Remy, give me your number 1.
I mean, you've already said it.
On Frontier.
You think, let's go. Get my fat ass on a Frontier flight and bring the plane down. And we're talking about cheeseburgers, so it's fitting. You've already mentioned my number 1, but it is the Wendy's Baconator. The Baconator from Wendy's.
You know what? That burger screams Remy Brennan.
I had to stop getting it. I'm like, bro, it's going to take me out.
Your cholesterol's
do I need this much? Do I
heart
need
attack
this much bacon? It's so damn good. Do I need this much bacon? I mess with the Wendy's just regular double the long way too already. But you add 58 strips of bacon to it, and it just hits another level. Yeah. I remember back in the day, probably shouldn't be admitting this, but back in the day, they used to serve the triple Baconator. And I will confirm that I've maybe had it before.
No way.
It was a lot.
Bro, remember people would come up, eat Tootin's triple cheeseburgers? Hey, those burgers were fire too. Bro. Not a fast food restaurant.
I was about to say, don't sleep
those
on
burgers.
Those burgers I worked for an entire summer for those cheeseburgers. So I didn't make any money, but I got some cheeseburgers. So
the BK Stacker is just a better Baconator.
That
is
incorrect.
Shots. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wendy's burger slaps. Burger King is trash. Alan says this because apparently Burger King up north is a whole different beast. Apparently up north, Burger King is this magical place where the food is good and people enjoy being there. Burger King in South Carolina should not even be open. They should not be open.
We ain't got it.
The worst fast food experiences of my life are almost all single-handedly Burger King.
No.
Every single one of them.
You go there because you have no other option, and you're like, well, this is going to be terrible.
I've been to a Burger King where they literally just told us to leave, basically. We walk in, we go to order. We're out of burgers. We're out of chicken. We're out of fries. What you got? We got fish. The fish sandwich. And that's it. Well, we're not eating here.
Bro,
we're leaving.
Remember that time the guy told us we didn't want Taco Bell breakfast?
Taco Bell breakfast.
He's like, you don't. He's the cook. He walks around the corner and goes, y'all want this?
You don't want
He goes,
this.
you know, there's a Chick-fil-A right there. He's like, why you there? Get me something.
But yeah, I can't, dude. I mean, I guess like maybe Burger King is just run by two different people up north.
I will tell you this for me, Burger King out here is terrible.
I have to imagine it is. Yeah. I have to imagine it is. It is dog water here. Alan lives next to a Burger King, and I fear that he frequents the place because
no way.
It's so bad. Dude. And they hate their fan base. What are we talking about? We're talking about Burger King, who literally came out with a Frisco burger to copy Hardee's. They made the exact same burger, and then they literally
Alan said he had it 2 days ago.
Exactly. They came out with something called the Big King a couple of years ago. For those of you who don't know what a Big King is, it's 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. If that sounds familiar, it's the Big Mac. It's the exact same sandwich. It's the exact same sandwich. And they called it the Big King and tried to make it.
Go there, you have to wait an extra 15 minutes and it'll be cold.
Yes, everything. Dude, we went there. First off, the only redeeming quality that Burger King has ever had is chicken fries, if you're lucky enough to get them. If you can get them, they're usually cold. So, I mean, it's wild.
Alan's a rider for Burger King.
Dude,
Alan, you need to be on some commercials.
My man just said the BK Stacker #1 fast food
took me back. You see what Jake said? Went to McDonald's once and said, all I have was Sprite and apple pies.
And I'd still rather go there than Burger King.
And I'd take a Sprite and an apple pie.
I would take a Sprite and an apple pie over a Burger King any day. I mean, that's insane, dude. They're one redeeming quality, chicken fries.
I will say that.
And they keep taking them away.
If you like wide burgers, Whataburger is 1,000 times better than Burger King. And if you ever had it, it's a wide burger. You get your bang for your buck. I got to give my #1 because we got in this spiel. It's the double from In-N-Out. And if you've never had that motherfucker, that bitch be hitting with animal style fries. Sheesh. Yo, Hershey Pies though, real quick, while he's talking about it, that was a redeeming quality.
I don't understand how they still have those. Like, how is Hershey's not going, wait a minute, we got to represent ourselves better here. We can't just be the only good thing in an entire restaurant.
Those little hand commercials.
Oh, do I remember those, Jonathan? Do I still on occasion send those to our friend Michael Harris just to get a good chuckle? Yes, I do.
Yes.
I still send that commercial to him from time to time. I might do it right now. I know he's not in here. He's never in here. So I'm just
here's the thing. Here's the one thing you had to look out for the Hershey's Pies. Nobody ever went to Burger King. So there was on occasion that you would get a Hershey's Pie that's been in that freezer for a minute.
For maybe literal years.
So it would be a bad one.
No knock on the Hershey's Pie. Still one of the best things in any fast food restaurant. But I will say a majority of the time that I got them, there was a nice little frozen layer of ice covering the top of the Hershey Pie because it had been in there for a minute.
I'm telling you. You just got to look out for that. But this has been a blast. I will say I appreciate each and every one of you guys giving your opinions and your views. One of the worst fast food restaurants in the world is in Denmark, South Carolina. It's the McDonald's. It literally almost killed me. It gave me food poisoning, and I was sick for a week. Had to go to the hospital, get an IV put in me. So don't go to that one. But everybody,
in all fairness, so yes, you did almost die.
But I ate it 100,000.
Like a million times. So honestly, 1 out of a million, that's not bad odds. I'm just saying.
I mean, honestly,
we ate there a lot,
bro. We would pull up and be like, "We need 16 McDoubles, and we're paying with quarters."
That one summer that I stayed with you, bro, we ate so much late night McDonald's, bro. We'd be sitting there, it's like 10 o'clock. It's like, man, the only thing open is McDonald's. But if you get a large meal, you get a free apple pie. You sold me.
You got me. I'm in.
You got me. It's the only place to eat, and I get an apple pie.
We did run a little long today, but once again, remember everything we said. We're gonna maybe start doing bulletin points so everybody can kind of tune in and get a flow of the show and know where you want to kind of have questions. look out for the Twitter post. Follow the Twitter account. We got a new admin. His name's Remy Brennan. Like,
It's me.
Subscribe, retweet, tell all your friends. Look out for the tweet. And we're going to do next week's top 5. List them up. The one with the most likes is going to be this next week's dive in the top 5. Also, in 2 weeks, look out for the fantasy stuff when we do live fantasy, because it's about that time of year again. So, Remy, got anything to tell everybody before we get out of here?
Boy, was I not expecting the hype on the burger post. So I want to give another big shout out to Tyler. Brought in a lot of comments, a lot of fun there. That was a blast, man. I really saw some new faces in here tonight.
Yep.
Some faces we haven't seen in a long time too. Really love seeing that. Like I said, any support, just literally a like and a retweet, or put on your notifications for when we go live, hop in here, throw us a comment, do whatever. Love that. Absolutely love it. Means the world. Thank y'all so much for hopping in, even if it's just for a few minutes, and listen us talk some shit about some shit. Love it.
Matt Rule is shit. We'll talk to you guys next week. We will holler at you later. Peace.